All right, what is good, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mass Ranker back again with another ranking, and today we are doing a ranking for, we're doing a power ranking for all of the strongest characters in all the media that I reviewed in 2025. Yeah, before we begin, I just want to make a few, not announcements, but just like say a few things. Number one, let me give a big thanks. We are at 54 subscribers, and so we hit a new sub record, which I am very grateful for as usual. Thank you to anyone that is watching the content, anyone that is watching the channel, anyone that is subscribed, commenting, just interacting with the videos in any way. Very much do appreciate it. Yeah, as usual, big thank you for 54 subscribers. Number two, and this is I'm very that we got the positive one out of the way. This one is going to be a bit not negative, but it is something that yeah, over the past couple of days, like with the whole basically with the whole tier list week, it has actually been really bad for my not my like mental health kind of, but over like yesterday was like the first time since I started this channel where I was actually like, I don't want to do this anymore because I was putting way too much pressure on myself to actually like create the tier list. I was like, okay, I have 17 tier lists to create. I have to stay like I have to stay extra at my dorm just so I can get these recordings out. And I was doing all these recordings at once, and it was just not healthy. Like you might have even seen in the videos, I was like maybe a bit more upset or something. Part of it was because the Wi-Fi wasn't great, but also part of it was because I was just doing it for like way too long, like in succession with like each video was like how I was recording like all the videos at once, which you'll even see like at the moment it's currently I think what day is it? It's Sunday, and there's still I think a backlog of at least like 3 or 4 videos that still haven't been uploaded by the time that I'm recording this current video. So you'll see that my shirt is like the same. I'm wearing like my green shirt in like every single one of those videos because I record them pretty much all around the same day. So yeah, anyway, point is, I'm basically just saying I'm not going to be doing that again. I'm not going to be doing like I'll still do like some recording sessions, but if I have like videos that I know are going to take like an hour long at least, then I'm just gonna like this video right now. I think it's gonna take probably about between an hour to an hour and a half. So I think I'll do this video for today, but I'm not recording anything else, even if I do have the time to, which I'm not gonna have anyway today. Like I have right now, about 2 hours before my roommate gets back. But yeah, so in general, if given the opportunity to possibly make more recordings, I'm not going to because it's just not good for my just mental health, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to call it. Like I was actually like getting way too burnt out. I also have like other stuff like studies and stuff, and it's I don't know. I'm also going to be probably, I have the backlog, and from what I'm going to be doing is I'm not going to be releasing multiple videos a day. I think I'm just going to start doing like from now on, I think I'm just going to start saving some to like alleviate some of the pressure, because anyway, it's like releasing all those videos at once. I'm pretty sure it's not great. Like it's better to just like release like 1 a day or something, maybe 2 at some point. But for now, I'm just going to stick with like daily uploads of like 1 a day. So it's kind of good for you guys, because if anything, it's like, would you guys rather me release 1 video a day consistently, or would you rather like, I don't know, 5 videos on 1 day and then a week of like no uploads or something like that? So I think I used to think of it as like, okay, it's better. This is like a catalog channel kind of like all my reviews and stuff. So it's better to get the reviews out as quickly as possible. But then I still think that that's like the best possible thing. But in terms of like how it actually works in practice, it's just not very great for like it's just a lot of like it takes a while to get done, and it's just every time I upload a video, it's like I can't use my computer, and I need to use my computer for studies and stuff. And so point is, I'm going to basically I'm alleviating some of the pressure. This channel is supposed to be for fun, and over the past couple of days, like it's been fun making the materials and stuff. Obviously, always that stuff is fun. However, I do want to cut back a bit on how many videos I'm actually uploading a day, and so I will probably like I'll still be daily uploads. That's good. It's not going to be like multiple videos a day, I think. So I might have like a small backlog of videos. So it's like I'm recording this now, but you're probably only going to see it in like a few days, which is fine. I don't think there's anything that these videos like don't have to be. These are videos that you can like I guess go back to watch in the future and stuff. These aren't really videos that are like relevant to the current date, I guess. So like we could have done this tier list like a month from now, and it would have still been like fine, I guess. So also another thing, I guess I might as well just say this now. I think because of the way that I'm consuming music now, it's like a lot more difficult compared to how it used to be for me to, number one, find the time to find music, as well as just find music in general. So I think I'll still do it's not going to be a monthly music review thing, but I will be doing, first of all, I'll do for like the end of the year music. That's going to be a fun one to do. But in general, we're also going to we're not going to be doing it monthly anymore. I'm just going to start doing it bi-monthly, which I think means every 2 months, or there's like the thing where people ask, like, does bi-monthly mean twice a month, or does it mean every 2 months? But anyway, I'm gonna basically every 2 months I'll do a music ranking for like all the music, because anyway, at this point, like I will upload one of the tier list I am going to do is for like the December music, because I haven't gotten to that, and I just for the sake of like continuing with the trend of just uploading music ranking each month, I am going to be doing the December 2025 music tier list. And that tier list, it's only gonna have 3 songs on it, because there was only 3 songs that I ended up adding to my playlist in December. And so because like there's so few now compared to what it used to be, hopefully that'll change. Hopefully I'll start adding some new songs. I'm trying out some new tactics to find some new music and stuff, which hopefully will work out well. But in general, I am just going to start doing it every 2 months, because it's going to make the videos like longer and I guess more enjoyable, and it's going to be more of an actual ranking compared to like what it is now. So yeah. Anyway, besides all that, those were like the announcements I had to make. We're already 6 minutes into the video, and this is already supposed to be a pretty long video. Another thing, I actually recorded this video already, but then because I ran out of storage on my phone, because I was like recording all the other tier lists and stuff, all the rankings for tier list week, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And so because there were so many other videos that were like 30 minutes to like an hour long or something. One of them was like an hour, and there was like the 1.5 hour long video of the movie ranking, and then there was another one that was like, I think the antagonist ranking, that was like an 1.5 hours, probably around that length. So because the video lengths were so long, I actually ran out of my phone ran out of storage like mid-recording. So and then for some, I didn't realize this, but I checked now, like right before starting this recording. Apparently it did save the recording. It just took like a whole day in order to upload it to my photos. So, but at that point I had already like reset the tier list, and then deleted the recording on my computer, because I was like, okay, this is gonna be useless because I didn't get the recording from my phone. So yeah, I could have saved some time, I guess, if I just didn't delete it, but whatever. We're just gonna restart it. I guess it's gonna flow better, I guess, if we do it all at the same time instead of like one on one day, one on another day. So anyway, we're just gonna get into this. This is gonna be our power ranking for 2025. And so yeah, this is basically the strongest character from every media property that I consume this year. And yeah, we're just gonna get it. Actually, I'll say a few rules before we're 7 minutes into this and we haven't even started. I apologize if you're getting bored. Maybe I'll put like some sort of disclaimer that says like I kind of rant until this point of the video. If you don't feel like listening, like skip this part to actually get the ranking. So but anyway, so we are just going to begin. First off, we have the rules. Sorry, the rules are this. The rules are that we're taking the strongest versions of every character, as long as they've proven themselves to be able to be that strong. Like for example, I did this recording, so I already have some characters in mind for what I'm talking about here. Odin, for example, from Son of the Mask, he is, I'm assuming, the strongest character from that property. However, he has not like really proven his powers enough to be ranked higher than some of the other characters. So, and then another example, we are being as generous as we can with the characters. So characters like Mandrake, we are going to be scaling up in size, so that way they have a fighting chance. And so, yeah. Anyway, let us just begin, starting off with Banjo Ueki Tyler. I'm going to give him F tier. I do think that he has probably some good luck that he inherited from his ancestor, just Ueki Tyler, but I do think that, yeah, in combat, he's really not getting that far. Just however, on luck alone, he could probably like beat most of the F tiers, I'd say. Mephisto, this is an example of what I was saying before. We have not seen enough in the show for him to really, he did not prove himself to be high enough to be S tier. Like, I'm sure he is like a very strong character, but based on what we saw in the show, he can teleport, he's manipulative, that gets him like B tier, I would say. I don't think though that he is, we're not going to give him S tier because we haven't seen enough from his powers and stuff in the actual show itself of Ironheart, or just him in the MCU to be able to rank him higher. Tony Soprano, I would give Tony Soprano D tier. He is definitely physically strong, and yeah, so D tier. I don't know if I'll talk too much about each character because I already did this recording, and yeah, so anyway, Barbie, I'm going to give Barbie, I would say, probably below Tony. I do think that she probably has some fighting skills because she does have like a lot of jobs and stuff, so I do think probably, I'm pretty sure I looked it up, one of them was like something to do with fighting. So I do imagine that she has some good combat skills, so I'm going to give her D tier, but I still think that Tony is probably just like way more, like physically he is just much stronger. And I think I saw something one time where it was like some fighter said that it doesn't actually matter about the techniques that people use. It mostly just comes down to like if someone, like if you have a martial arts master versus just a really big dude that just charges at him with like no tactics really, I think it usually just comes down to who's like the bigger fighter and the one that like, I don't know, just doesn't have really any techniques and is just like wildly doing stuff. So yes, so I think Tony he has strength wise, he's bigger, and so I think he's just gonna end up beating Barbie, even if she might have the better technique. So Hawkeye, I'm gonna give him B tier. I would say that he's a strong Avenger. I would say he has the range advantage, which I think is good. By the way, we're doing this like basically battle royale style, where it's like all the characters are fighting each other. Every character is aware that it's a fight. No character is like gonna be too afraid to fight each other. So, for example, like who is here that I was going to relate that to? I have Lenny here from Of Mice and Men. Here's Lenny. So he wouldn't like, I feel like realistically he would be afraid to fight. He wouldn't know what's going on. But we're gonna say every character is like aware that there's a fight. Every character is fighting, even if like it logically doesn't make sense for their character to fight in that kind of a situation. So anyway, Jinshi, I'm going to give Jinshi C tier. I think that definitely he has the skills to be able to beat Tony and Barbie in a lot of the DNF tiers. We did see like in the show he has some good combat skills, definitely C tier. This is Aoi from Tesagure Bakatsumono. I would give her F tier. I don't think she's like a high school girl. I don't think she's really getting far against anyone. I think Banjo could probably just beat her based on pure luck. So yeah, I chose her as like the strongest because I think she was like the most chaotic character from the anime, even if that's not really saying much. But so yeah, I'll say that she's like the strongest, I guess, but still F tier. Honey from Orin. I'm gonna give him A tier. I do think that he is one of the strongest. Maybe not A tier. Maybe I'll move him down after maybe I'll move him down if I feel like it later on. But he did demonstrate like he is the strongest character in Orin. His martial arts skills is like extremely powerful. Number one, his fighting technique is like definitely one of the strongest so far, at least, and he has immense strength. And so like if you haven't seen Orin, you may like look at him and you might not think much of him, but definitely he is one of the strongest characters. I don't know about in anime, but like definitely just in terms of raw strength and like fighting abilities, I would say that he definitely ranks pretty high. So Spike Spiegel, okay, I'm gonna put him in B tier. I don't think that yeah, I don't know, I'll say, fine, I'll be generous, I'll say A tier. Now Spike Spiegel, he is a great fighter. I definitely think that he would be able to he could beat Hawkeye, I'd say. I don't know, I might put him in I'm trying to also remember like when I actually did this ranking, I'm trying to remember where I put everyone. So, I'm going to be harsher with everyone. I'm going to say Jinshi is top of D tier. I'm going to say Hawkeye and Mephisto are C tiers. And then I think this is what I did with the characters, yeah. And then we have Honey is... Okay, so could Honey beat could he beat Spike Spiegel? Spike has the experience. Honey definitely has the raw strength. Honey probably also has the martial arts abilities, but I reckon that they're like maybe tied within martial arts, but definitely his fate, like Honey comes from a family of like incredibly good martial arts practicers, whatever the word is, fighters, yeah, that's it. So I think that Spike does have like range with pistols. Like I did say this when I did the first recording, I did say that we are allowing characters iconic weapons that they may have. So Hawkeye, he gets to use his bows. Himiko here, she gets to use her cyclone. What else? There was like other characters here. The Zenless Zone Zero characters, Miyabi, she gets to use her sword and stuff. So if a character has an iconic weapon, they are allowed to use it. I guess in the case of Jinji, like if a weapon's weak enough, like we'll just give it to them because for the sake of just like letting them have a stronger advantage, I guess. But Tony like doesn't get any pistols. He's never had any iconic pistols or anything like that, so he doesn't get pistols. So Spike Spiegel, we'll say he gets pistols for long range, but I did mention this also in the original recording I did. If it comes down to if a character's like really good at close fighting, we're gonna say that the character manages to get close enough to the character where it becomes a close range fight. So like Spike does not just like shoot Honey because he has long range with the pistols. Like when they fight, it becomes a close range fight. So I think Honey would probably end up beating Spike in a close range fight. I'm gonna be honest, like just based on I don't know, it's close. I'm gonna give the edge to Honey because just based on the raw strength that we've seen from Honey, I think that he could end up beating Spike, I would say. Although Spike is a bit more, I don't know. I feel we ended up seeing Spike dying, and I feel like Honey could have probably survived like the fighting the Syndicate clan or the Red Dragon Syndicate that Spike fought that he ended up dying from. So I'm gonna give it to Honey for now. So yeah, Shin, I would say he is I'd say like D tier. Maybe not D tier, I don't know. I would say like, I don't know. He has his metal foot, so I feel like in that fight that would give him a bit of an advantage, but I don't know how much, he is bigger than Barbie, so I feel like he would probably beat her. I think he could beat Tony. I can definitely see him beating Tony. Like he can use his like metal foot and stuff. I feel like Tony might be a bit more aggressive, and so, sorry, it's cold weather these days, so always gotta have tissues with you. So yeah, so I can see Shin maybe beating Tony. However, okay, he definitely doesn't beat Jinshi. He could possibly beat Tony. I'm gonna say no. I think that Tony probably, like, although he does seem like he's in more shape, but Tony just seems like he has more raw strength. But he does have a metal leg, so I don't know. I'll give it to him. I'll give it to Shin. I'll give him the edge. Himiko. Himiko is definitely stronger than Tony, definitely stronger than Shin. Could she beat Jinchi? That's a good question. I think Jinchi probably has the better fighting style, but I do think Himiko probably has more strength. And I'd argue they have about the same amount of experience. I think they're about the same age. So I think that, I'm not sure. I think Himiko also probably has more fighting experience, like in actual combat, where Jinchi, I think most of it is just training and stuff. So it could actually be Himiko. And we did see Himiko fight off like multiple people at once, where Jinchi, we've only ever saw him like dueling against Yao Xuan. So I'll give it to Himiko, I think. And I even say, like, I'll be harsh, I guess. I'll put her in like bottom of seed. I don't know. I'll put her like bottom of seed tier. Kiri, I think he could beat Himiko. I think like he has the martial. He's like a ninja. He does have the skills to be able to beat Himiko. I don't remember if they ever fought, but I think that he was like able to get close enough to hurt her. I'm pretty sure at some point in the anime. I don't remember, but at some point they had some sort of interaction where he like proved that his skills are like better than hers or something like that. So I think he could beat Himiko. I don't think he's beating Hawkeye though. I think Hawkeye probably has the experience advantage, and so yeah. Even if Kiri might have the better like actual martial like ninja advantages, I think that Hawkeye would still end up beating him. Shadow Yuko. Okay, now I think most of it with her is just going to come down to like mentality. Like I think you would need to just have a strong mentality to be able to beat her, because I don't think that physically in the show, in Dustmane of Amnesia, we didn't actually see her like fight at any point really. She just kind of, I think her powers mostly just rely on like if you're able to like withstand her mentally. Like I think she, like her whole technique is, I think, just trying to scare people usually. So I'm gonna put her like bottom of C tier. I think that if she could probably beat a lot of characters that have like low mentality. Like she definitely beats like the F tiers, and the D tiers I'm not sure. I think she maybe has like tentacles or something, not tentacles, but she has like shadow powers, but I don't know how like lethal they actually are based on what we saw in the show. In the show, like in the anime, in Dust Maiden, she doesn't actually do anything that can really, like, she never hurt anyone really at any point. She was just meant to be scary and like meant to cause fear in people. So I'm gonna say bottom of C tier. Like she's supernatural, so it also is probably pretty difficult to beat her. But you know, I'm gonna put her like below Jinchi. I think Jinchi would Jinchi would probably have the mental fortitude to be able to beat her. So I imagine though the rest would probably be too afraid. So yeah, Takahashi, he is physically strong. However, he is I don't think he has like really combat experience. He beats the F tiers, and I can see him once again for the same reason as these other guys. They probably are physically stronger than Barbie. Barbie, by the way, we're scaling her up so she's the size of everyone else, and I guess we're gonna ignore the fact that she's made of plastic and say that she just is, you know, flesh and bones like everyone else. Even so, I think Takahashi he could probably beat, I don't know, he could, Tony, like, doesn't really, he has physical strength, but I feel like he doesn't actually have, like, he doesn't have, like, a good fighting style, probably. Like, I think he would just, like, come at you or something, like, brawl. He's a brawler, I think. That's what I'm trying to say. Takahashi, though, we haven't seen him fight either, but I think probably Takahashi is physically more fit than Tony. And then, yeah, so I would say, I think Shin could beat Takahashi because of his metal foot advantage, and then I think Takahashi could probably beat Tony because he's in better shape than Tony, so we're going to say, yeah, that's the order. Saki, she did demonstrate that she actually has some good physical abilities. Like as a kid, she did have to learn like self-defense since she's like a succubus and stuff. So I would say that she actually could probably beat like Shin at the very least. She could also, I don't think she would have the mental fortitude to be able to beat Shadow Yuko, so I'm going to say that she probably loses to Shadow Yuko. So yeah, this is a bit different. Like I'm trying to also like kind of make this about the same as like the first time I went about doing this, but to be honest, it's not coming out exactly like it was the first time I did it, but whatever. So just the Ueki Tyler, I'm gonna put him top of C tier. I said this in my first recording. I think that he like gets as far as he does just purely based on luck. So I do think that like he could probably outlast like everyone below him just based purely on like his luck alone. So I don't think he's gonna get as high though, because there's a lot of characters that would just beat him like in a fight physically. He can't really do shit, and so he's not smart. He's not all his stats just go towards luck. So because of that, he gets like top of C tier, but I don't think he's actually gonna. I don't think he is going to be able to get much farther than that. Mononobe Yu, I'm going to give him A tier. I think that he is able to create like weapons out of dark matter, and so I don't really know. I think in close combat, he does have a line that says like I can kill any man or something like that. So he does have experience, I'm pretty sure, from what I remember of being a fighter. So I'm gonna give him A tier. Definitely has a great arsenal of just being able to conjure any weapon that he wants to, except he like never really used it in the show. I mean, in the show, in the anime, like they do fight dragons, I guess, but against Killy, like he didn't make anything creative. So I'll say A tier. I think he does have like probably, I mean, when it comes to technically, I would say he has like the largest arsenal out of any character that is on this list. Like just he's able to create any weapon out of dark matter. I just don't think he would really do that in a fight. So I'll say A tier. He is extremely strong, but yeah, not S tier. We have Majima, who I would say is. I think Spike could probably beat Majima. I would say Majima is like B tier. He is very strong, very good, very skilled fighter. I think that he probably loses to Spike, though. I think Kiryu probably beats Spike. Based on what, like, Kiryu, he was able to fight off, like, a bunch of men at once and come out fine. Spike, he, in the anime spoilers, I said this already earlier, but he did end up dying against, like, fighting off a bunch of whatever you want to call them, goons, henchmen, whatever word you feel like using. Majima, I think Kiryu beats Majima, because we've seen in the game that Kiryu beats Majima, and I think Spike could also probably beat Majima, just because I think Spike is probably a bit more experienced, and I think that he probably has like a bit cleaner of a fighting style, I would say. So I'm going to give it a Spike, even though it's pretty close. You can switch around, and I won't say anything about it. So Skylanders. For Skylanders, I don't know. I want to include the Skylanders. I don't really know how. So I guess just it's one Skylander in this case. It's not like all the Skylanders coming together to be on one team. So any Skylander, I think, would probably be able to beat, I'd say like all the, I don't know. I think they could probably beat like all the C tiers, and then I think they would lose to the B tiers, I'd say. If it's a one-on-one, like any Skylander against Majima, I think Majima would probably beat any of them, except for like maybe, I don't know, you could say like maybe like the trap team or something, like maybe they have a bit more of an advantage, but even so, I'm just going to put it in B tier for balance sake, I guess. So yeah, Miyabi, I would say is A tier. I think she's A tier. I think honestly she could probably beat Mononobe Yu. I think she has the skills to be able to do it. I think I don't know. Like he can conjure, once again, he can conjure any weapon, so it is very likely that he is able to, like, theoretically, he has like a lot of potential to be able to get pretty far in a fight, but we haven't really seen him fight that much. In Miyabi, we've seen her fight much more. Both of these characters, actually, they have experience fighting like giant monsters, and so they're both, in that sense, they're on even playing field, kind of. In terms of actual one-on-one fights, I think Miyabi probably has the advantage, though, I would say. So yeah, I would say that probably Miyabi probably beats Mononobe. Yizhuan, I think Yizhuan, she's not as strong as Miyabi. I think that she could probably end up, I could see her beating Mononobe Yu. I could see it happening. She has a lot more experience, I would say. And yeah, once again, even if just, I don't know, it's difficult with, like, Mononobe Yu, he has a lot, once again, he has a lot of potential. Like, theoretically, I could see him, like, winning a lot of fights if he's just creative enough, but based on what we saw in the anime, it's like, I don't know. So yeah, Hugo, I'm gonna say Hugo also probably ends up beating him. Hugo has a great fighting style. He has a pretty good amount of experience, and yeah, so I'm just gonna say that he also beats Yu. So yeah, the Zenless Zone Zero characters, I would say they're all A tier in terms of a fight. Mandrake, we're buffing him. We are gonna up him in scale, so he's the same size as everyone else. He's not like miniature like he is in the movie. And because of that, he does have his powers, and so he does have good range. And I would say that, but we did say that if a character does have range, then they do still, I don't know how it works. Like because in the movie Epic, it's like because they're so small, they can kind of jump higher and stuff. So I don't really know how that would translate to like actual, if we scale him up. So I guess we could still say that he has like he has every advantage of being small, but we're just making him bigger, but he still keeps every advantage that he might have, so. Even so I think he could beat all the C tiers based on his powers alone, his like decay staff and all that. So yeah, I think he could beat the Skylanders. He could beat Majima, I'd say. He could beat. He does have also like experience fighting close combat because he did fight Rona, I'm pretty sure from what I remember. So he beats Spike, I would say. I don't know. If they get close enough, I think they could probably beat Mandrake. But I feel like Mandrake would. If it's long range, I think that he wins. Unless Spike has pistols, in that case, Spike probably beats him. So, we'll put them above these guys here. So, yeah, if they get close enough, they're absolutely beating him. I think so. This is Steve from Arthur Christmas. I'm going to put him in F tier. I don't think he's doing anything. Like he is just. We haven't seen any like real fighting. Like he looks decently strong. He kind of looks like an army man. So, but I don't think he actually has any army training experience or anything like that. So I'm going to say F tier. I think Banjo could beat him just based on luck. So, yeah, let us continue. Okay, we have a decent amount still. I think, by the way, originally when I did this, I got all the way up to like, I got more than an hour in. I think I ended up, where did I get up to? I think I got up to about, it was Ian Lightfoot. That's who I got up to. So all of this I already did. So this is all like a second time around for me. How long do I have until, what time is it? It's currently 4:40 and I have until, I think, 6. Yeah, 6, and then I have to be somewhere at 6 is when my roommate comes back. I have to be somewhere at around 7, I think. So I think we got good time. I also do have I do want to upload a video today. I did say that like you could hear my whole speech at the start of the video where I did say I am still going to be doing daily uploads. So I did not upload anything today. So I do want to still upload one of the videos I already recorded today. And I do have homework I have to do for today. I was kind of, because of all the tier lists I did, I ended up procrastinating a bit on some of my work. So I do have to now make that up. So yeah, we gotta get moving on this. So Iron Fist, I would give her, she is pretty strong. I do see her beating definitely the Skylanders. Definitely I see her beating Mandrake. I could see her probably beating, I think she could beat pretty much all these guys just because she actually has the Iron Fist. And honestly, I could see her beating, like she probably has a better fighting style than, or at least the equal fighting style to Honey. I think strength-wise, like Honey probably is stronger physically, but because she has the Iron Fist, I think that she has possibly a bit of an advantage. So because of that, I might give it to her, but it's pretty close. I'm going to say that she is, I'll say that she's, the Iron Fist is a bit stronger right now. Top of B tier, we'll say. Yeah, Ginger, F tier, she's not doing crap. I think that probably she could, I think that maybe she could beat Aoi, but besides that, she's not getting any farther than that. She's just way too small. Like, she's pretty smart, I guess, but I don't think Smarts is really going to do too much good in, it's mostly like a physical fight, unless it's like, Smarts come into play when it's like one-on-one, and then a character might physically, like, might be able to, I don't know, they might be intelligent enough to win a fight in a one-on-one, but that's pretty much how I'm going. I'm basically just taking a character, like putting them against another character and saying who would end up winning in the fight. So, Taka, I would say probably, I'm not sure. I think probably below A tier. I think Mononobe Yu does have, and I would say all these characters probably do have, except maybe Hugo, but I feel like Hugo, he still, like with his ice abilities, he could probably end up being Taka as well. So, I do think that all these, like most of these characters here do have experience fighting like giant monsters, like Mononobe, his name is like a lot of syllables. Yu with his against the dragons, Miyabi against the ethereals and stuff, as well as Yizhuan. I don't think we actually saw Hugo fight any like large ethereals and stuff, but I do still imagine that he could, with his ice abilities, I do think he could probably defeat Taka. It is interesting though if Taka could regenerate. I did say, what did I say about immortal characters? I forgot what I said. I think I said if there's immortal characters, like they're not mortal in this case or something like that. I don't know. If they've proven their immortality is like, if we've seen their immortality on display, I guess I'll give it to them. I don't know if Taka is immortal. Like he seems like, or she, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, but Taka seems like he or she could regenerate limbs. So there's no reason to believe that. I mean, I don't know if it follows from that just you chop off Taka's head and then the head would grow back or something like that. So pretty interesting, but I'm going to give these characters the edge over Taka, I'd say. So Nalo, I'm going to give Nalo, I'll go A tier below Taka. In his storm form, he probably actually seems stronger than Taka. And it's kind of weird because it's like in the movie, they defeat him by breaking the curse of, by having him want to touch the island that Nalo sunk, and for some reason he like loses powers when humans are together or whatever. So it is weird because like in this situation, it's like they can't break the curse because I'm assuming it doesn't take place like specifically in the world of Moana. It takes place in just some random battlefield, I guess. So we're gonna say he is killable, I'll say, and he hasn't displayed himself enough to be able to like give him S tier, but I'd still say like A tier below Taka. I think we'll say Taka could beat Nalo. If it's his storm form, maybe not. I don't know. Like the thing is, the storm form, the way to defeat the storm form is by breaking the curse. But there's no way any of these characters can break the curse, so that would like technically, I guess, make him S tier. But I don't think he's like, I don't know, he hasn't displayed himself enough to be an S tier character, it feels like. So it is an interesting predicament. So we're gonna say bottom of A tier. We're just gonna say that Taka could probably beat Nalo in like his human form or something like that. I don't know. We're just gonna put him bottom of A tier for the sake of it. So yeah. This is the Were-Rabbit from Wallace and Gromit. I think like physically he's stronger than pretty much all these characters. I think you would be too afraid of Shadow Yuko though, so you would definitely end up losing to Shadow Yuko. I even see Saki maybe being able to beat him. So I would say that, yeah, I'll put Saki like below. I'll put Saki above. What's his name? The Were-Rabbit from Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, it is interesting actually. Saki being a succubus. I wonder if like her powers would like how her powers would help her in a fight, like against like the Were-Rabbit. I wonder if that would like make the Were-Rabbit would all of a sudden like get horny or something, and then he would get distracted or something like that. So also against like a lot of the men, I wonder how her abilities would affect, not even just the men, like I'm pretty sure her powers affect everyone. So it is kind of interesting to see. I feel like Jinchi would have I don't know, he is kind of young, like he is, in the show they said he's like 19, so I feel like maybe he wouldn't have the mental fortitude, but although he is, like for his age, he is very much composed and he is aware of like his roles and like what he is supposed to be doing and stuff, so I feel like he probably has the mental fortitude to be able to block out Saki's effects, I would say. So yeah, anyway, Billy Bean, I will give him, he's not beating Tony. I think Tony definitely is more brutal than him, so yeah. I would say he probably beats Barbie though. Once again, just this isn't a sexist thing. This isn't about like this is like a physical thing. Like I think they're physically stronger than Barbie, so I don't think that because once again, I think like actual physical strength in a lot of cases probably does trump like fighting abilities, like in terms of skill and stuff. Except in the case of Saki, but I actually think like we saw on like Barbie, we didn't see her actually like fight anyone at any point in the show, but Saki we did see like at a young age, like when she was in middle school, she like flipped over like a dude that was I think like probably older than her. So I do imagine like at her current age, she could probably like, if she was strong enough to do that in middle school, I imagine that she probably is capable of like flipping a man probably in his like mid 40s, probably maybe mid whatever age most of these characters are. I think like Tony's like in his 40s, Billy Bean probably also in his 40s, maybe 50s. Takahashi's like in his 30s, I imagine. So yeah. Anyway, Odin from Son of the Mask. I would give Odin, let's see here, I would give him probably C tier. I'm gonna say Himiko gets close enough and is able to beat him. Yeah, he really just didn't display his powers enough to be able to rank him higher. So because that, yeah, I imagine he has like the mental fortitude to be able to probably defeat Shadow Yuko as well as probably, I don't know, he's a god, so we'll just say that he can beat Jinchi, I guess. So actually, you know what, nah, he hasn't proven himself. We didn't see like again, if a character, like we assume he's probably very strong, but if he didn't do jack shit in the show to prove it, like I don't want to rank him like S tier, even though like realistically he might be. So yeah, this my tier list, my rule. If you disagree with it, then I don't know what to tell you about it. Just move on, I guess. Let's just continue. The Mask is an S tier character, like in terms of fighting abilities. He has Toon Force, and Toon Force is pretty much like unstoppable in pretty much any case. Like Miyabi, she cuts him up. He's just gonna probably like regenerate himself. It is interesting though, because I think his abilities don't work at night, so it would be interesting to question like what time of the day the battle takes place. We'll say that even if it takes place during the day, well, we could say it takes place at night, but even if it does take place during the day, we'll just like say that no, he's still like the Mask during daytime for this case. So, but yeah, I do think like I don't know, you shoot bullets at him, it's gonna probably bounce off. You cut him up, he's gonna probably just come back together. I really like here Taka could probably like throw some fireball at him, and then he's just gonna like become like a cooked chicken or something like that, and then go back to normal. So I really think like there's nothing you can really do to defeat the Mask. So definite S tier. Duke from Glass Onion, I'm gonna give him like he's physically strong, so I'll give him like I bet Shin could beat him. I bet Shin, like, with his metal leg, I think he could probably defeat him. So I do think that, though, I don't know, he's probably on the same level as Takahashi. I think they're both about the same level of, like, strength physically. They're both pretty fit. I don't know which one. I think maybe Duke would be a bit more, I don't know, it would be, yeah, it's tough to say. I'll give it to Duke. I think maybe he would be a bit more brutal in the fight. So anyway, Ransom, I think he would definitely, he has, like, he's not physically strong, but he does have extremely brutal tactics, I feel like. So I do think that he would fight dirty and stuff. And so I do think he would beat Duke. He'd probably beat Shin. I don't think he could beat the Were-Rabbit, though. I think the Were-Rabbit probably would be able to. He's, like, just much physically stronger, so I think he would be able to beat him. So yeah. Snoopy from the Peanuts movie probably beats Owie, probably beats Ginger. I could even maybe see him beating Steve, but I don't think he's getting past Banjo. Banjo probably is just too lucky, I would say. So I'm gonna give it to Steve, though, because he's probably more physically fit, so he physically is stronger than Snoopy, I would say. So anyway, Shaun from Shaun of the Dead, he is not making it very far. I would say he probably beats, like, the H. I can even say he beats, like, even if he's not physically stronger than Steve. No, honestly, no. I'm gonna say that Steve, he's physically stronger. He probably beats Shaun. Shaun, like, he has experience, like, as being in a zombie apocalypse, but I don't think that's really gonna translate over well to, like, actual fighting people that are not zombies. So yeah, Doug from Early Men, I'm gonna say he beats Owie. He beats he has, like, some hunting experience, but so I guess maybe that would put him a bit over the edge over some of the other characters. So I'll say he beats Steve. He probably beats, I'm gonna say he doesn't beat Banjo. I'm just gonna say Banjo's too lucky to be able to beat him. So Dracula from Hotel Transylvania, I'm going to give Dracula, I would say, honestly, S tier. He has the time stop, he has the hypnosis. He could probably, like, time freeze Miyabi, hypnotize her into just, like, doing his bidding, and then have her fight, like, just have her be his personal bodyguard, something like that. So I do imagine that Dracula is one of the most powerful characters. He has so many abilities. He has flight, his time stop. Like, there's really, like, not a lot that anyone can do against him in a fight. So you turn to a bat. If once again, if we'll say this takes place during the nighttime, for the sake of just, like, so the mask, and because we're being as generous as possible. So it's a fight. It takes place not during night, but, like, during the evening, where it's, like, the sun is not out enough to be able to hurt you. Like, there's those times at night where it's like you don't see the sun in the air, and but, like, it's still, you know what I'm talking about probably. So so it takes place at night, so both the mask is able to use his powers, and Dracula does not have to worry about the sun. So yeah, S tier. This is the Blade from The Clients, and I think probably he is, he could beat Barbie, like he is in the Mafia, so he does have probably, like, some Mafia tactics and stuff. So I would say he probably, I think he loses to Tony, because Tony just seems, like, physically stronger than him, I'd say. So yep. LaFrog, I would give LaFrog, I think LaFrog probably, he beats Tony. Like, he is, like, faster, and he has better reflexes, I would say, and better fighting styles. He probably beats Takahashi and Duke. I think he beats Shin. I think he beats Ransom. I feel like I could see him losing to the Were-Rabbit, but if he doesn't lose to the Were-Rabbit, I would say that he, I'll say he loses to the Were-Rabbit. If he doesn't, I feel like, yeah, Saki probably would be able to stop him. Like, she's probably physically stronger. Like, he would use his tongue to grab her arm or something. She would grab his tongue and then, like, flip him over, slam him on the ground, something like that. So, and I don't think he's getting to Shadow Yuko, because Shadow Yuko would probably destroy it. I feel like he's not mentally strong enough to fight Shadow Yuko. So this is the dad from Parasite. I'm going to give the dad from Parasite, I don't know. I think he's probably, okay, he could beat Owie, probably, he could beat Ginger, he could beat Snoopy. I think he would, honestly, he could beat Shaun too. I think at the end of Parasite, we can see, like, he's able to unleash, like, a very rageful side of himself. So, like, enough to kill someone. Spoilers, I guess, for Parasite. But yeah, I'd say he beats Shaun. I could see him beating Steve, and I can even see him beating Doug. I could probably see him beating Billy as well, honestly. Like, even if Billy's, like, stronger, I feel like he would be more rageful to be able to come out on top. I don't think he's going to beat the Blade, though. So, yeah. Lenny is physically pretty strong, although he is not the smartest tool in the shed. So I could see him, basically anyone that's smarter than him is probably going to just end up being able to outsmart him in a fight. So I'll say that I feel like Barbie would probably, I don't know, I feel like most of the characters here would be able to physically outsmart him, I guess, and so he wouldn't be able to, like, physically he would be able to, like, beat the F tiers, but I don't think he's smart enough to be able to, although Steve could maybe also outsmart him, so I don't know. I'll say I'll say F tier. Like, he is the strongest physically, probably in F tier, but I do think that, yeah, I hear even Doug has experience of, like, hunting large animals, I could say, so yeah, I'm gonna put him there. I think he beat Sean, I'd say, so yeah. Andrew from Whiplash, he's not really a fighter. He did fight Terrence, though, in the movie, so I think he beats Owie, he beats Ginger, he beats Snoopy, I'd say, he beats Sean even, I would say, but I don't think he beats Lenny. I think he can unleash his rage. I guess we have seen him do that before. Scott Pilgrim from Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I would say that he has pretty interesting abilities that I don't really know how they would be incorporated in the fight, but I would say that he could probably beat the D tiers using his powers, and I put it like, I think Himiko could probably beat him. I think that, like, she gets close enough, she's stronger than him, much stronger than him, so I would say that probably Himiko beats him. This is, what's his name? Let me see here. The Thursday Murder Club Killer, this is Borgov, something like that. Bogdan, yeah, Bogdan. Bogdan, I would give, probably, I would say, he has killed someone before, so he does have the experience, but I'd say he's, like, smart enough to outsmart Lenny. Probably beat these guys, probably F tier. He could beat Billy Bean, I'd say. I see him beating the dad, the Mafia dude from The Client. I think probably he loses to because he has more Mafia experience, I'd say, so. Invincible Mario, I'm going to give Invincible Mario, this is him with the star, I'm going to give him S tier. And I think it probably comes down to a stalemate between him and Dracula. Because Dracula, he can, like, fly, so he's not going to be able to, like, Mario's not going to be able to reach him. However, Dracula can't do anything to him, like, he can't hypnotize him because I think the invincibility would prevent that. He can't time freeze him because I think the invincibility would also, like, prevent him from being time frozen. So I think it would come down to a stalemate between Mario and Dracula. So I think the star would eventually run out. So you could say that you could make the case that, like, the star eventually runs out, like, way before he even gets to Dracula, like, after he defeats I don't know, Kiri or something, like, the star runs out. But I do think that we'll give him the star the entire way through. If it comes down to a stalemate, yeah, I think Dracula probably just, like, has the advantage. If we said Mario permanently had the star, I don't know, maybe Dracula would get tired, he would eventually have to come down. The invincibility doesn't, like, give him, like, extra jump, like, he wouldn't be able to reach Dracula, so I don't know, I'm gonna give it to Dracula, I think, because we'll say that the star eventually will run out. We'll say the star has, like, I don't know, a 5, we'll say the star has, like, a 24-hour time period, because I'm assuming most of these fights will be done after before 24 hours, so, and then Dracula would beat him, I guess, so. Anyway, although the mask would probably beat both of them combined, so anyway, yeah, doesn't really matter. The Sea Beast, or the Red Bluster from the movie Sea Beast, the Sea Beast, I would give him probably, he is physically strong, so I do think he probably loses to, okay, he can beat, like, pretty much all the B tiers based on, like, physical strength alone. Maybe Iron Fist, honestly, because I think Iron Fist actually would probably be able to beat him because the Iron Fist is just that strong. Honey, that's a good question. You know, fine, I'll even say Honey could beat him. I don't think Kiryu's, like, I don't think, yeah, there's a big gap when it comes to strength between, like, Kiryu to Honey, I'd say, so. These are the delete bots from the Emoji Movie, and I might have to put my thing in a, I have to put my computer, I have to get a charger for my computer because we're gonna be running out of battery, so I'm gonna actually do that now. Okay, I don't want to stop the recording because it's gonna mess with the whole thing, so let me just, like, get a bit of a finger cam right now, just, okay, good. I had it connected, I didn't want it to, I didn't want the thing to fall, and I don't want to pause the recording because if I do, then it's gonna be really annoying to edit later, so. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in, and let's hope that it doesn't explode, because that has been an issue with me lately. I've been plugging in cables, and for some reason, it's been, here, it just happened now. It didn't cause an electric surge, but I saw sparks being flied. So I don't know why that keeps happening. I need to actually buy, like, a new charger, I think, because, I don't know, the one I had before caused an electric surge. This other one that I happened to find, it's, like, not the best, I feel like. Every time now, like, I was in class, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this in because I have to charge my computer, so I can, like, keep reading the presentation, because I said, like, I can see the board usually, but it's just easier for me to follow along with, like, my computer with the presentation, so, it's not just me that does it, there's other kids that do it too. And it's like, I put the charger in, and I'm like, please don't explode. and this isn't a concern that I should be having. I have other things to be worrying about. So anyway, yeah, delete bots. I would say, okay, we're gonna say that the delete bots, they can only delete emojis, so they can't actually like delete most of these other characters. So it's just gonna come down to physical strength, I'd say. And I would say that probably, I think the Were-Rabbit could beat them, definitely. I'd say that the Were-Rabbit probably has the strength to be able to defeat the delete bots. This is Phil Knight from Air. I would say that he is, you know, he seems to be in decent shape, so I'd say he could probably beat, like, I think he's smart enough to be able to get past Lenny, and I think he would be able to, I think we'll say that he is in, I don't know, Barbie, like, she probably has the skills. I'll say Barbie's, like, probably has the skills to be able to beat him. Honestly, I'm being a bit biased. I am saying, like, okay, it has to be proven that the character is strong enough to be able to make assumptions. Like, we can't assume that Odin from Son of the Mask would be, like, one of the strongest characters here because he hasn't shown hasn't proven himself, like, he hasn't displayed any powers to, like, confirm that assumption. And I am kind of assuming that, like, Barbie is, like, a martial arts master or something. So, maybe I am being a bit, yeah, I don't know. Fine, I'll move Barbie down to, like, I don't know, but I don't know. I am kind of assuming a lot, though, so I'm just gonna leave her. I'm just gonna. There's some we're making assumptions on the characters that I'm being biased. Screw it. Yeah, I'm biased. I'm giving certain characters advantages because I like them better than others. So, and I don't like Odin from Son of the Mask as much, so I'm not putting him that high. So, no, but for real, I think that I don't know. I don't really care too much to think too much about it. So we're just gonna leave it how it is. This is, what was his name? It was Napoleon Dynamite's uncle. It was Uncle? Yeah, Uncle Rico, I think. Yeah, what a flattering photo. I think physically he might be strong, but I feel like, yeah, Lenny would probably be able to beat him. He doesn't seem smart enough to get past Lenny. I feel like maybe he'd be able to beat Andrew based on, like, physical strength, but even Andrew, I feel like he probably might be rageful enough to be able to beat him, so I could see him beating Sean, though, yeah. Prince Akeem, and this is Prince Akeem in his prime, so not when he's his older version of himself, I guess. So Prince Akeem, I'm going to sit, but we have like about an hour left, so okay, hopefully I think we'll get this done within an hour or so. Prince Akeem, he has some good fighting skills, so I would say that he probably, let's see here. He would probably, let's say, okay, he beats Tony, definitely. He beats Ransom. I think he beats LaFrog. I don't know if he can beat the delete bots. I think the delete bots, they might be a bit too, yeah, I don't know. I would say that, although could someone, like, I don't know, the delete bots are, like, made of metal, so I don't know how, like, strong they are physically, but I am saying someone like Hawkeye could beat that. I guess Hawkeye, like, shoots an arrow and, like, destroys their panel, I guess, so, and I guess, like, some of these characters are just strong enough to, like, punch the glass part to be able to break it, I guess. Prince Akeem, we're gonna put below the delete bot. Could he beat the frog? I'll say no. I'll say LaFrog is probably stronger. I can see him being Ransom, though, so we'll put him there. I think that's good. This is his daughter, and so yeah, I think Prince Akeem in his prime could probably beat his daughter, but I think it's about the same, honestly. I know she did actually fight off, like, some warriors and not just, like, some random bank robber, so she might actually even be a bit more, she displayed a bit more strength but like fighting capabilities than Prince Akeem, so I'll put her, like, above, I guess. I still think that LaFrog probably beats her, so. Michael Corleone, I would say he's pretty similar to Ransom, and I think that probably would be more brutal. I think Ransom would probably be a bit more brutal, but I think that Michael Corleone is about the same level as him in terms of, like, strength as well as, like, brutal tactics and stuff. So this is Young Felon from Highest to Lowest, and I think that he is physically, he'd probably lose to a lot of these guys. So I don't think he's beating Tony. I don't think he's beating the Blade. I don't think he's beating Bogdov. Has he killed someone? I don't think he, like, kidnapped someone, but I think maybe he killed someone. I don't think so, actually. From the movie, I don't remember him killing anyone, so I don't think he's beating any of the characters that have actually killed people before. Could he beat Billy Bean? I think Billy Bean might be a bit stronger than him. I can see him beating Barbie, though, so, and even Phil Knight, so yeah, I think that's good. Gomez, he has some pretty good sword skills, actually. Like, I do think that he could get decently far with his swordsmanship alone. Definitely, could he beat Prince Akeem? I think he could, honestly, based on like his sword skills. I think he could. We'll give him the sword. We'll say the sword's iconic enough for him to get the sword. I think he could beat the Toad because he has a sword in that case. He could beat the Delete Bots also probably with the sword, as well as the Were-Rabbit. Psyche as well. He would not be afraid of Shadow Yuko. He has definitely the mentality to be able to beat her. Could he beat Odin? And we'll say he could beat Odin. Yeah, sure. Could he beat Jinshi? Yeah, I think he has more experience than Jinshi. Could he beat Scott Pilgrim? I don't think so. Probably Scott Pilgrim. His powers or whatever are a bit more, I don't know. He's like video game powers. I feel like maybe could beat Gomez. So, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna put Odin down. I feel like Odin. I don't know. He's like one of the worst characters to rank here because you think it's Odin. It's like the Norse god of the gods or something. And so, or maybe that's Zeus. I don't remember. What is Odin even the god of? Let's see here. What is Odin the god of? Place your bets. I say god of the gods. Wisdom, war, poetry, magic, death, and divination. Isn't that like a bit much? Like, don't usually like get one of these things, maybe two. Like, isn't like most of the Greek ones like, Dionysus, the god of grapes or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know, that seems a bit much for one god to be handling. So, anyway, I don't know, Odin. We'll say here these characters can all get close enough to be able to physically harm him. I'll say that Shadow Yuko probably he has. I don't know. We'll just leave him where he is. I guess fine. Bahim from RRR, he is physically pretty strong, I would say, and so he beats most of these guys, I think. He also has his like Bollywood powers, so I think he could beat the Delete Bots, definitely. I feel like he can beat the Were-Rabbit. I think he could beat Saki. He has the mental fortitude to defeat Shadow Yuko. He could beat probably, I think he could, I could see him beating Gomez, yeah. I don't know. I think he could probably even beat. No, honestly, Scott Pilgrim has like the weaponry, and I feel like he doesn't have the weaponry to be able to face him. So, and even Gomez, I don't know. Gomez might seem a bit too good with swordsmanship to be able to. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think he fought anyone in the beginning. Although he fought people with guns and came out on top. I think like at certain points he also had guns. So. We'll put it there. We'll put him there. Yeah, I think Nigel. He beats Owie. I guess he probably beats Ginger. I think he's losing to Snoopy. I think Snoopy is probably crafty enough to be able to beat Nigel. I'd say so. Yeah. Actually, even I feel like Ginger would probably be smart enough to beat Nigel as well. So Raju. I think Raju is definitely stronger than Bahim. And I think he could beat Gomez as well. He probably beats Scott Pilgrim. And I think he could. I can definitely see him like grabbing Cyclone from Himiko. So yeah, I definitely think he beats Himiko. I think that he could he beat Kiri? Kiri has like the better skills, I'd say, but he has the strength and mentality maybe. I'm gonna say Kiri beats him, but it's close. It's pretty close. So we haven't actually seen like Kiri lose a fight, I'm pretty sure, at any point. So yeah, and then if he gets past Kiri somehow, then I think Hawkeye would probably be able to beat him. So based on just like more experience and better fighting styles and stuff. So Joshua from F1, I'm going to give I think he is not as strong as like the killers here, and I think he would lose to, although he's pretty fit, he does have to be like he has to train a lot to be an F1 driver, so I think he can beat Billy Bean, I'd say. So yeah, Captain Gut from Ice Age. I think that he doesn't have the mental fortitude to get past what's her name, Shadow Yuko. But I think he can beat Saki. He does have his like iconic sword thing, so it's like bone sword. So I think he can probably like defeat Saki. Harrison, he doesn't really have any physical abilities or anything or fighting styles. Like there's nothing really to him. He's just, I guess, the strongest character from the Brutalist. He is pretty brutal. I mean, he did rape the main character, but I don't think that would really translate well into a fight. So I think he loses to Lenny, and I think he would probably lose to like, I can see him beating like Rico, but I don't think he's beating. I think Andrew is like probably strong enough to take him on. So like at least rageful once again. So Mr. Keating, I don't think he's not really doing shit in the fight. He has like no physical. I think I can see him beating Nigel and maybe even Ginger. I don't think he's beating Snoopy. I think Snoopy's smart enough to be able to beat him. So, or crafty, I guess. Gordon from Elio. I think Lord Gordon is probably, he's pretty strong. He is pretty capable. He does have like that suit. So I think he's beating most of these characters, I would say. Does he get past Tyler's luck? Tyler is pretty lucky when it comes to fighting aliens. So honestly, I would say that Tyler could probably beat Lord Gordon. So yeah, we're going to say that. And then if he did make it to, I think probably Mandrake's powers could probably beat him. I think the Skylanders have a decent shot of defeating him, so yeah. Frank Drebin from The Naked Gun. I think that Frank Drebin is, he is a cop, so he does have like some experience fighting. I can see him beating like Tony Soprano. I can see him beating Takahashi. I can see him beating like, yeah, even Ransom, I'd say. Prince Akeem. Where did I move? I got too mixed up by accident. He was supposed to go here. Yeah, I think that's where the dad was, right? Pretty sure. And then I think Frank Drebin, I would put, could he beat Prince Akeem? I'm not sure. I think he could, yeah, he has like more experience. I mean, he has more like police experience, but I don't know if that translates to fight. I think Prince Akeem actually probably has a better fighting experience compared to Frank Drebin, so I'm going to say Frank Drebin loses to Prince Akeem. Frank Drebin Jr., I think Frank Drebin Jr. has more fighting experience based on what we saw in the film, so I would say he beats Frank Drebin Sr. And he could probably beat Prince Akeem based on what we saw, as well as his daughter, as well as I would say the frog. Could he beat the... I'm not going to really say that they have, like, they don't get, like, spoof force or whatever you want. Like, they don't have cartoon force, but they also don't really get the spoof things. Like, they can't just summon some sort of, like, RPG out of nowhere, I'd say, so. Although maybe I should allow them to. Now I'm going to say he loses to, yeah, I'd say he loses in a comedic fashion to the Delete Bots, I'd say, so. Okay, I'm kind of waiting just to get back to Ian because that's the part where I left off in the original recording. So, Mickey 18. He was a bit more the aggressive Mickey compared to the first one, so I do think he probably beats most of the F tiers. He beats, I'd say, Young Felon, and I think he probably beats Billy Bean as well as Joshua, as well as Bogdan, I'd say as well as okay, does he beat Tony? I think Tony's like physically stronger than him, so I think Tony would be able to beat him. So, Anson from Role Models. I don't think he's smart enough to get past Lenny, so I'm going to put him below Lenny, I'd say. The Monkey from The Secret Life of Pets 2. I guess I ranked him above Sergey. I thought Sergey was like his owner, and I think Sergey might have been a bit stronger than him, but I guess the Monkey like just did display a bit more action and like fighting styles, where Sergey kind of just like didn't really have any action sequences. So the Monkey could beat Nigel, definitely could beat I would say Ginger. I could see the Monkey beating Snoopy. He does have like knives and stuff, I'm pretty sure, so. Although Snoopy is pretty crafty, so I'll give it to Snoopy. I think Snoopy like has pretty good fighting potential, so. This is the bank robber from Taxi, and I would give her probably, I don't know, she has like some fighting potential, I guess, so I guess she beats, probably beat most of these guys, but probably loses to, I would say, probably Tony Soprano once again, based on strength, so yeah. This is Animal from the Muppet movie, and I did say that we're being as generous as we can with the characters, so when it comes to large characters like Animal as well as like Large Kevin, they do still stay the same size, so he's still going to be big, and yeah, so I think that probably, he is a puppet though, so I don't know like how much actual damage he can do. I would say that probably, I think the Red Bluster could beat him, yeah, so. And I do think that, could Kiryu beat him? I don't know what Kiryu's gonna do, like he could punch him and stuff, I don't know if it would be effective. Like I don't know if he's still like kind of the same material as a puppet, so it's like realistically, you just grab his leg and then swing him, even if he is like 20 meters tall or something like that, so. Yeah, I'm gonna say he's above Kiryu, because yeah, we'll say that his weight increases maybe with his size or something like that, so yeah. Johnny Boy, I would say is probably, I think Tony in his prime could probably beat Johnny Boy in his prime, because I think he's just physically like stronger. I feel like Tony compared to his father in his prime, so like he is bigger. Like bigger also usually translates to like being harder to like knock down or something like that. So yeah. So and then Dickie, I think probably Dickie would lose to Johnny. I think Johnny is a bit smarter than Dickie maybe, or at the very least like more skilled than Dickie. So yeah, I'll put him there. Billy Madison, yeah, I don't think he's beating. He's not beating Lenny. They're about like on the same intelligence level, at least in terms of like by the end of the movie, Billy Madison gets much smarter. But in terms of like fights and stuff, I don't think Billy's beating what's his name, Lenny. I could see, yeah, I think Anson would probably also beat Billy. I could definitely see Billy beating Andrew though, just based on like strength alone or something like that. Like, I feel like he would also fight like pretty wild, kind of similar with Andrew. So Cora from Rebel Moon, she is a fighter, so I do think that she probably gets decently far. We did see some good combat experience from her, so I do think that she probably gets, at the very least, like she beats Frank Drebin, I'd say. Frank Drebin Sr. And could she beat the Delete Bots? Yeah, I'd say so, yeah, probably. Could she beat the Were-Rabbit? Yeah, I could see that happening. Could she beat Saki? Yeah, based on what we saw from her, I'd say so. Could she beat Gut? Okay, I don't think she could beat Gut. I feel like Gut would be too physically imposing, and he has a sword. I don't think Cora doesn't have any iconic weapons. We're not giving her like a blaster or one of those lightsaber rip-off things from Rebel Moon, so it would be like she would have only hands. Gut would get the weapon, so he would beat her. So Belisarius, he would probably beat Cora based on how, like, he's more brutal, so I think he could probably beat her. And I don't think he would end up beating Gut though. However, I don't know, Jinchi, like I feel like maybe Belisarius could beat Jinchi. Although Jinchi is like pretty skilled, so, and I feel like he has a cleaner probably fighting technique than Belisarius does. So actually, probably Jinchi could. I don't know. I'm gonna put Jinchi above Belisarius. I'd say. The Wrong Missy from the Wrong Missy, and I would say that she is. You know, she seems a bit crazier than some of the other contenders here, so I do think she could probably beat like Billy Bean at least. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. She fights dirty. I feel like. I could see her beating Joshua. I could see her beating the father from Parasite. I could see her beating Bogdan, whatever his name was. I could see her beating, yeah, I could see her beating, could she beat, actually, I don't know. I think the client, the blade from the client, I think he would have like some mafia tactics maybe he would use. So, maybe not, yeah. But compared to these guys who, like, they've killed people before, but it wasn't like, they're not really like killers at heart, I would say. So, yeah, I think that probably Missy would beat them, I'd say so, yeah. This is Morty and McGurk from the Lorax, and I think that they are, we're only taking one of them. They're not a pair here, but I do think they are physically strong. I would say they're definitely physically strong. I would say that they could probably beat, I think they could beat, like, yeah, could they beat the Delete Bots? I think they could. And could they beat the Were-Rabbit? I think it would be close. I think maybe, I'll say they win, yeah. I think they probably beat Saki. I think they beat Cora Belisarius. I think they would lose to Guts though, because once again, these guys don't have weapons, so this is like pure hand-to-hand combat, and I think they're much stronger based on what we saw from them. So I think, yeah, but then Guts has the sword, so I think he beats them. So yeah. Large Kevin. Well, he definitely beats Animal, that's for sure. So where was Animal? Animal was here. Does he beat the Red Bluster? That's a good question. I would say, I'm not sure. I don't know. I would say, I think the Red Bluster would be a bit more brutal in a fight. But Kevin also, like, yeah, I'm gonna say that the Red Bluster beats Kevin. I'm gonna go with that, yeah. And yes, for the record, I do think Honey would be able to beat Kevin. Okay, Honey, like, displayed incredible strength, and I think he would probably, yeah, he'd somehow manage to beat him. I don't know how, but he'd jump onto a roof and then, like, just sock Kevin in the face or something like that, knocking him out completely, and yeah, that's how it would go down probably. The Pink Berets, they are pretty skilled, I guess, so they would probably, they beat most of the F tiers, I'd say. They could definitely beat, they'd probably tranquilize their enemy, so they could beat Lenny, I'd say. I think they're probably able to beat most of the D tiers. Yeah, they do have tranquilizer darts, so I would probably say, could they beat Tony? I could say they'd beat Tony. honestly, they beat a lot of the characters here just because they're really small, and so like, well, there's one of them. Okay, we're gonna say there's one of them. They're not a trio. One of them, but they do have blow darts, which they do use in the movie, so I'm gonna give it to them. So it did feel pretty iconic to their characters. Although it wouldn't work against the, I guess it wouldn't work against the delete bots. So I feel like Frank Drebin would probably be able to like catch the bullets or something. So we'll say actually he also probably beats them, and I think. Yeah, I think that's, LaFrog could maybe catch them before they get the shot off. I'm not sure. I feel like maybe he could even catch in a similar way to Frank Drebin, he can maybe catch the blow dart as well. So fine, I don't think I think they could probably beat Prince Akeem and his daughter, so. Okay, the purple minions. Now this is just one of them. This is just one of the minions. Now, compared to everyone else on the list, physically, they're actually probably the most resilient characters on this list. Like in terms of taking damage, they could tank a lot. Like they could tank bullets, they could tank explosions. I would say the only comparable character really is probably like Invincible Mario when it comes to like their durability. So in terms of durability, they actually beat pretty much most of the characters here. However, I do think because it's one of them, like most characters should probably just like grab them and like throw them away or something like that. So. I would say that they could probably beat, honestly, if it's just one of them, then I think that probably, I feel like Anson would just kick them away. And so that would probably, Billy would also probably do that. So let's hear. They beat Nigel, definitely. They would eat Nigel, I'd say. Ginger, they would eat as well. Keating, I feel like by the time you get to Keating, he's probably like big enough where you can just kick them away. So, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like maybe they'd still manage to beat him because he's not really a fighter, so maybe he doesn't know how to kick them properly away. They beat the monkey. They beat Snoopy, I would say. They would beat Sean. Sean definitely wouldn't be able to stop them. They beat Rico. They beat Harrison. They beat Andrew. I feel like, yeah, Billy is like he's so wild enough that I feel like he'd be able to stop one of the purple minions, yeah. Gru, and we're going to give him the freeze ray. He does get the freeze ray for this because it is an iconic weapon of his. So we're going to give him freeze ray, and because of that, he beats probably like most of the characters here. I think, he beats Guts. He beats, does he beat Shadow Yuko? Does he have the mentality? I feel like he'd be too afraid to be able to stop her. So yeah, we'll say he loses to Shadow Yuko. I think he would definitely be too afraid, so. Rumi, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this in the first recording a few times, but we're gonna say it's not a fight to the death, but we'll say it's like as close to death as you can be. Like it's until the character is like subdued, I suppose. So, I don't know, just a defeat in a fight, either like by killing the person or not killing the person, I don't know. Anyway, Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters, I would give Rumi, she beats Guru, that definitely. She definitely beats Shadow Yuko because she is like used to fighting demons and stuff. She would beat, I would say, definitely Scott Pilgrim. I think she has the fighting experience. She beats Himiko. She beats these guys. She beats Hawkeye. She beats Mephisto. He's a demon as well, so that also matches well. She probably beats Gorgon, I would say. She beats Tyler. She beats the Skylanders. She would beat Mandrake, I think. Yeah, I think she beats Mandrake. I also think because these guys don't get weapons, she would beat them. She'd probably be able to beat probably all these guys. The Red Bluster, could she beat the Red Bluster? She also is pretty much she fights demons, so I don't know actually how, like, she'd probably fare about as well as against like actual humans. Like Ginu was pretty much like an actual human, not just a demon, but she does have like, she has a good fighting experience. Actually, I'm gonna say she probably can't beat the big ones, but I don't know. Maybe even these top level fighters, I feel like maybe she wouldn't be able to beat them, so. Yeah, honestly, I'm going to say that she loses to Majima. I think their level is just much stronger in terms of like actual fighting styles compared to Rumi's. So yeah. Ginu is about on the same level as Rumi, and I think that Ginu is a bit better than her. So I'm going to put them about next to each other, but Ginu seems a bit more skilled, I would say. Like, he was kind of trolling her, I think, when they were actually having their duel, so. Rick Blaine from Casablanca. Yeah, I don't know. I think physically he would probably be decently strong. I think maybe he served in the army or something like that, or he fought in a war, so I can see him beating, like, some of these characters. I don't think he's beating the Blade. I think the Blade would be too brutal, I'd say. So, yeah. Anne Hathaway's character, Andrea from The Devil Wears Prada, I think that, yeah, she can take on a lot of tasks, but I don't think she's actually going to be, she's not going to be a great fighter. So I would say that she beats, like, Nia, and I would say that she beats, I feel like by the time I feel like Nigel could probably beat her. Not Mia, what's her name? Aoi, yeah, Aoi. You can tell that I'm tired. This is what I, like, mentioned in, I mentioned this, like, at the start of the video, like, once I get to this point, and then, but on the day that I did all the recordings, I was like, okay, I did this one, and then I did, like, immediately, like, 4 more recordings after that, and it's like, after this recording, I'm gonna be done for the day, and then I'm not continuing, and that's just basically how I'm gonna be going for, like, for next year, I guess, next year when I do these recordings again. I'm gonna be doing probably, at least for the hour-long ones, I'm gonna be doing one a day. I'm not doing, like, multiple hour-long recordings a day, because this actually just, like, drains a lot of energy for me. So anyway, we are at, let's see here. We're at, this is where I got up to last time, Ian Lightfoot, and he does have, pretty good magical abilities, I would say. So because of that, I would give him probably, I could see him use it, like, he has the arcane lightning, he can, like, turn invisible, I'm pretty sure. So if we're gonna say he mastered them by the time they're fighting here. Could he beat Shadow Yuko? I feel like he might be afraid, but I feel like he would be able to stand up to his fears and defeat her. So I'm gonna say he can also fly, which is a pretty big advantage. So I'd say he'd honestly get pretty far. Could he beat Kiri? Kiri is the way better martial arts, but he does have the magic abilities, which is he can fly. So he could probably stop, like, Hawkeye's, like, arrows in there, and he could probably use some magic to defeat Mephisto. Again, we're downplaying, like, Mephisto to a great. I'm sure if some, like, MCU fan is watching this, like, oh, Mephisto, he's stronger than Thanos or whatever, it's like, fine, we didn't see that in Ironheart yet, so I'm not ranking him, like, S tier that he might be. Could he beat Grigon? He has Arcane Lightning, which could maybe power off Grigon's suit. Yeah, I'll put him B tier, honestly. I would say that he definitely, could he beat the Skylanders? Maybe. Could he beat Mandrake? I think Mandrake is just more skilled, so I'm going to say no. I'll say, could he beat the Skylanders? I'll say yes, he's so versatile that he could maybe beat the Skylanders even. I'd say, like, once any Skylander, I think all the Skylanders are about on the same level. Like, maybe not lore-wise, but in the actual gameplay-wise, like, I think you could probably beat the game with, like, any Skylander. It doesn't really matter. It's, like, not, like, you take a trap team versus, I don't know, one of the Series 1 basic characters. I think that there's not really going to be a difference. So in terms of, like, how you play the game, like, I think every character is viable to probably play as. So I don't think there's, like, a meta in Skylanders. Maybe there is, but for the actual story gameplay, I think any character would work fine. Anyway, at this point, these are new characters, so this I might actually have to, like, think about where I mean, up until this point, this doesn't look exactly like the original tier list looked like. But anyway, Falcon, he would probably lose to, I think Nigel is, like, a more capable fighter bird, so I think Falcon loses to Nigel. And I think, honestly, Falcon would lose to Anne Hathaway. I feel like, yeah, Andrea is probably, she would be physically capable of subduing him. Honestly, even Aoi, I think, could probably stop Falcon. Although, I don't know, like, Falcon is very, like, yeah, he's a threat to Stuart Little, but, like, anyone else, I feel like he's not doing shit too. So the Beast from Stuart Little 3, I think, definitely could beat Ginger, could beat Keating even, like, it is a tiger, so, although she's not very, like, as bloodthirsty as, like, you would think from, like, a tiger, not a tiger, but a bobcat, a puma, a panther, a jaguar, I don't know what this is. I could see, no, I think Snoopy would be, like, crafty and smart enough to be able to stop the Beast, so. Yeah, even the monkey maybe would be smart enough to be able to stop. His name's, like, Sergey Jr., I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna leave it to the Beast, I'd say, so yeah. This is Eve from Ballerina, and she's definitely, like, pretty high up. Like, she is a very skilled fighter. She beats Hawkeye, I would say, definitely. She would probably be able to get to the B tiers. I think, like, once you get to Ian, though, it's like, I don't know, he flies, so it's like, I don't think she'd, honestly, could she even beat, like, Grigon? I think he has the armor, so I don't think she would actually be able to do anything to him. So, actually, probably she couldn't beat Grigon, but if she gets close enough, she could probably beat Mephisto. If, Hawkeye, could she beat Hawkeye? They're both, like, skilled fighters, and we did see Hawkeye, like, although I guess, I don't know if this is Hawkeye from the entire MCU, or if it's just Hawkeye from the show Hawkeye, which is what I actually reviewed. She's younger, but he is more experienced. so I don't know. But she's used to, like, I don't know, her world is much more difficult to survive in compared to his, like, in terms of assassins and stuff, so, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to give it to, okay, it's not a long-range fight, it's a close-range fight, and I think that she would do better in a close-range fight. However, she's still a bit inexperienced. I'm going to give it to Hawkeye, you know, I'm going to say his experience gives him the edge. This is Lug from Robots. I think physically he's probably pretty strong. Like, he is stronger than, I think all the F tiers, I would say. I think Lenny, could he beat Lenny? I don't think he's, like, smart. I think he's probably in the, I don't think he's, like, very smart, per se, but I think that he's just, like, he's made of metal and stuff, so physically he would be stronger than Lenny. And I would say he's probably, yeah, he's made of metal, so it's, like, it is a pretty big advantage, I'd say. Even if it might be, like, rusted, not the best metal, but even so, I think, like, he would be a difficult person to defeat. I think Shin could maybe, because he does have the metal foot, so honestly, I'll say that he loses to Shin. And then every other character here is, like, brutal enough to be able to beat him, or just skilled enough to, yeah. John Wick. Okay, John Wick definitely at least beats Eve. That's confirmed. He beats Hawkeye, no question about it. We'll say he has, okay, we'll give him whatever gun he wants. He's allowed to use any gun. And yeah, we'll say that. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know. We've seen, like, good physical strength from these characters to be able to beat Grigon, so, but I think he would, like, have the accuracy to be able to defeat Grigon somehow, so I'll say, yeah. He beats, okay, once again, close range fight. I think he beats Rumi. Well, he beats Mandrake in a close range fight, yeah. He would, Rumi has a sword though, but he still, even if he has a sword, like, he's still probably more skilled close range. I think he beats Genu. Yeah, I think so. He beats Majima. He beats Spike. This is Prime John Wick, by the way, from, like, what we've seen from him. So, Prime John Wick, I would assume it would be, like, I guess, like, where he's in the 4th movie, but, like, he's completely healed and stuff, no injuries or anything, and in full blood mode mentality. So I think he's beating Kiryu, I'd say. I think Kiryu might have more experience, like, fighting more people at one time. Because Kiryu has, like, a lot more group fights, but I do think that John Wick has a lot of, like, he's used to fighting waves, so he could definitely, like, hold his own. So I think, though, he's not really going to be able to do shit against, I did say, I think, in the original tier list that, where's Hawkeye? Where did I put Hawkeye? I did say Hawkeye would be able to beat Animal because he would be able to, like, shoot arrows into his eyes, and so I actually do think that Hawkeye would probably be able to beat Animal, I'd say. Unless, I don't know, it depends on what the rules are, like, if Animal maybe he would just, like, brush it aside or whatever, so I'm not sure. He would also, I think Hawkeye would be able to beat, like, Kevin as well. I feel like, though, if one character can beat him, then I feel like I have to justify why every other character can beat him. So I'm going to bring Kevin and Animal down here, and then we'll say here, Mephisto, I don't know, teleportation, he does some trickery to beat them. He has the weaponry to beat him. He's lucky enough to outlast them. Skylanders, they're skilled enough to outmaneuver them. Ian, he uses magic. Mandrake uses magic. Rumi and Genu, they're able to beat them. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna, like, yeah, we'll justify it because I do think that Hawkeye could probably beat them. So, and then here these guys is I don't know, they're strong enough where they're able to I think, okay, Spike has a gun, so he's able to stop them. Majima is, I don't know, we'll say he's physically strong enough to punch Animal, who's like a puppet. So, and then Kiryu is, he gets to a roof somehow. He somehow manages to, like, get high enough to punch Kevin in the face, and then yeah, defeats him. So anyway, moving on. And then John Wick, he shoots them both, yeah, with bullets. And Kevin wasn't, yeah, I don't think he was bulletproof necessarily. I don't think he ever got shot by bullets. So I think actually maybe the minions are bulletproof in general. Maybe it's not even just the purple ones. I think at some point they did. So I think, like, they've taken missile, like, bombs have been exploded and the minions have been fine. So I don't know. We'll say, actually, I'm gonna move them back. I don't know. It's, even if, I don't know, it feels wrong to have, like, John Wick below them, but their size, it just makes them such, like, a, yeah, we're just gonna keep them above John Wick because realistically, like, he can't do shit. Even if he has, like, guns, it's like, and even if he has, like, perfect aim, I don't think, like, I think they'll still be fine. Like, Kevin, I don't know if he's bulletproof, but he's definitely, we're gonna say he is like I'm pretty sure the minions have probably like survived like, I don't know about gunfire, but they've survived bombs, so it's like I assume that they could survive bullets, I think. So I don't know, but maybe it's like carbon. Maybe we give him like a special weaponry that's like military grade. So maybe we should do that. I don't know, but then it feels like I'm just like being biased again. So we're just gonna put them. We're gonna say below. Okay, we're just for the sake of moving on. So this is the alien from Aliens Resurgence. This is the Queen Alien, and I think that she definitely beats Kevin. She beats the Red Bluster. She beats Honey. I think once again, Iron Fist could probably stop the Queen Alien. Just the Iron Fist is like that strong, I'd say. So, yep. This is Terry Hortz or Whites or something like that from the other guys. I would give him probably D tier, not D tier. Wait, what do I give him? Let's think about this. He is a cop and he does have some cop experience, so I would say that he probably could he beat Tony? I think they actually had a fight scene with him, so I think he is decently strong enough to be able to fight off these characters. Could he beat Frank Drebin? I think Frank Drebin has. I think maybe he has like. I'm gonna say he beats Frank Drebin, but I think that Prince Akeem beats him. Like I think that Frank Drebin might be past his prime, and he's like more so in his prime to be able to win in a fight. So yeah, I'll say he loses to Prince Akeem, who has like a better fighting style to be able to beat him. This is Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. He has like no fighting experience really, but we will give him like the gun that he has that he tried to use to assassinate the. He has that like machine that he made, so because of the gun he does. But again, close range fights. So could he beat Dickie? I think Dickie is mentioned that he has like really good aim. So I think here we'll say it's a long range fight between the two. Dickie would probably end up beating Travis, I'd say so. I think he would be able to beat these other guys here, I would say so. Maybe, I don't know, he would maybe even lose to the taxi villainess because if it's a close range fight, but yeah, he's very sloppy with his work and I feel like she's cleaner with her work, so yeah, we're gonna put him there. Who is this? This is not Pedro Pascal, Pablo Escobar from American Made, and he is a mafia dude. He is like in the cartel and stuff, so I think he beats the F tiers. We'll compare him to the Mafia guys. It's a close range fight. We'll give it to Dickie. We'll give it to these guys because we've seen them do more than him. So because of that, yeah, I would say, yeah, there seems good. Verbal, we have seen like, no, I don't remember I don't think he fought at any point in the movie. So, but he is pretty clever. So I will say he beats the F tiers. And then I think he would be, he does talk a lot. He could maybe distract them with his talking. So I would say he gets up to, he would lose to, I think even Mickey 18 would be able to, or yeah, Mickey 18 would be able to stop him. I think he would be like, he's more aggressive of a fighter. So even like the Blade, I think would probably have like brutal tactics to be able to stop Verbal. So. Okay, this is Nathan Kane. He does have like his ability to knock in pain, so he would actually probably make it pretty far. So any character here he'd be able to beat because he just would outlast him with the, like he could end up dying in the process, but he would still be able to, like his lack of feeling pain would be a big, like your Belisarius without brutally is like Nathan Kane, he's not going to feel any of it. So I think maybe Morty McGurk could probably beat him though, because at that point, like he might not feel the pain, but it's like they are physically just much stronger than him and much bigger. So yeah, like Psyche, she could flip him over, but he's not gonna like feel it. So yeah, and he could probably punch the delete bots enough, like again their panel until they stop working. The Were Rabbit, he could probably just like the Were Rabbit would punch him, but he could probably just keep punching him as well until like he beats him. So anyway, this is Michael Cera's character from the Bjorn, I think his name is, and we didn't actually see him fight that much in the Phoenician scheme from what I remember, so I don't really know where to rank him. I think he is a secret agent, so I do think he's like decently probably skilled at fighting, so we'll say he could probably beat Lenny, and he could probably beat, yeah, we'll say he gets to about, I think he would lose to Dickie. I think Dickie would probably be able to beat him. Anyway, Jack Kelly from Old Dads, I think that he is pretty rageful, so I think he can beat Andrew because he is angry enough to, and he's a bit older, so probably a bit stronger as well. So, does he beat Lenny? I think Lenny would be able to beat him. I don't think he's like smart enough to be able to outmaneuver Lenny or something like that. So yeah, and I even Anson. I feel like Anson would be stronger than him, and I could see him beating Billy though. So yeah. This is James Bond. This is Daniel Craig's James Bond. I think this might actually be longer than the movie tier list this might end up being. So, James Bond is okay. Let's see here. Beats Eve. Yeah, beats Hawkeye. Beats Mephisto. Yeah, beats yeah, he'd have like the same reason for John Wick being able to beat Gorgon because shoots him enough times, and yeah. So here, this like area here, you could probably shoot, and then it would be able to like do some damage if you're skilled enough at aiming. So he'd probably be able to get shot. We'll give him a pistol. We'll say he gets a pistol. We'll give him, so he beats. I think he would honestly get probably as far as like. He beats Rumi, I'd say, in a close combat fight as well as Gino. Majima? Does he beat Majima? I think Majima is probably like more skilled in a close combat fight compared to him. So honestly, I don't think he beats Majima. I think that, yeah, we're gonna put that there. This is Hammy, and I think he's probably actually the fastest character on this list. Like when he does go his sugar mode, then he is extremely fast, but physically he's not. He's like he can't really do anything. So physically, I think he's fast enough where he can beat Nigel and Ginger, I'd say. I don't think he, like, once you get to Keating, like, he can't do anything. Like, I don't think he's, like, smart enough to start coming up with, like, traps to set or something, but, so I can see him beating Ginger, but I can't really see him beating Keating, so, yeah. This is Smoke, and we are going to say that he is a vampire in this case, because that was him at his strongest, so he is invincible, basically. I mean, he's kind of immortal in a way, so, unless I guess you get a stake through his heart, but he was pretty strong even when he was human, so, I'd say he's, like, more brutal than the Blade. He's probably, where did I move Billy B by accident? Here, he was here. Yeah, I think that he is, I would say, okay, let's see here. Is he stronger than Prince Akeem? I think Prince Akeem is more skilled, but I feel like he would be able to. Yeah, but he is immortal though. Like he does have the vampire strength, I guess. So, I'm going to and then he'd beat the Were-Rabbit. He would beat the. I think he'd beat Psyche. He would beat. Would he beat Coram Balisella? No, I'm gonna say that they're too skilled to. They'd be able to stop him and. Yeah, I don't know like how the vampire abilities really like buff him. So anyway, I'm not thinking too much about it. This is Smoke. This one was stacked. I'm gonna put them about the same level. I think that they're both probably about as equally skilled. We could give him the Tommy gun, I guess, but I don't know. It's not really iconic to us. It is kind of iconic. It wasn't a lot of the promotional material, so okay, we'll give him a Tommy gun. So he could probably would beat. Stack doesn't get a Tommy gun though, so. He could beat these guys. He could even beat Gru, I'd say. Yuko. I don't think he's beating Yuko though. Like he did get scared in the movie a lot. So although he does have a mentality to be able to maybe, he's not beating Jinshi, and we're gonna say he loses to Yuko. I think he was pretty scared throughout the film. So this is Jim Balsillie from Blackberry. He's very angry. But he's not that strong probably. So I could see him. I think that he would lose to Anson, honestly. Like, I feel like he's clever enough, but I feel like he literally would just not be able to do anything to Lenny because he's just like that weak, it feels like. So honestly, Jack Kelly would probably be angry enough and strong enough to be able to beat Jim. And Billy, like Billy's like very wild. So and I don't know. Yeah, I feel like even the minions. He feels like one of those rich dudes where it's like he talks a lot of game, but like realistically wouldn't be able to do shit in a fight. So. Andrew, I feel like could even also beat him, so I bet he could beat Harrison, I'd say so. This is Starsky from Starsky and Hutch, and I guess I didn't include Hutch here. I thought I would have. I don't know. Okay, so Starsky. Oh, I did include Hutch right next to him. So both characters are about the same level, I'd say, and I think that they are. They're both cops. They both have like some skills. They're probably. I think Nathan Kane could probably beat them. I think probably Coram Belisarius as well. I think Stack as well. it's close combat, I will say, with Saki. So are they beating the Were-Rabbit? Are they even beating the Delete Bots? I don't think they're beating the Delete Bots. I'm gonna put them about the same level as each other. That Frank Durbin Jr. they're not even beating. I can see them beating the LaFrog, though. I think that they might have the skills to be able to do that. So okay, Mike Lowry. And did I include Marcus Burnett? I feel like I should have. If I didn't, okay, maybe I didn't, because yeah, I do think Mike Lowry is probably the stronger one of the two. I did include here though Armando. Mike Lowry, he is definitely better than Starsky and Hutch, I would say. I think he probably loses though to Frank Durbin Jr. I'd say. I think that's yeah, I think that's good, right? Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. Armando, though, he beats Mike Lowry. Definitely is a stronger. He definitely, I think, he beats Frank Durbin Jr. as well. I could see him beating as well the Delete Bots. He's strong enough to be able to beat the Were-Rabbit. I think he beats Saki as well. He beats Stack. I think he beats Korra and Webseries. He's like very skilled fighter. He would beat probably Nathan Kane as well. He's like pretty brutal as well in a lot of his methods. Morty McGurk, I could see him beating. I can honestly even see him beating like Captain Gut. If he gets close enough, he would beat Gru as well. He would beat Stack. I think he would have the mental fortitude probably to be able to beat Yuko, Shadow Yuko. He probably beats Odin if he gets close enough. Jinchi would beat as well. Bahim, yeah. Gomez, I think so. Probably a lot of these characters. Could he beat Eve? I think he's stronger than Eve. I think he could probably, honestly. Hawkeye? Yeah, I would say so. Mephisto? Yeah, I don't think he's doing anything against Gorgon. I think Gorgon like just has the armor and the weaponry and stuff. I think he could do anything against them. Like I just said specifically like John Wick and James Bond because their accuracy is probably. Although he does have good accuracy, I think. Yeah, he did end up killing Captain Howard. So honestly, you could beat him probably. I'd say. And then I don't think that he is beating. I think you beat the Skylanders, at least some of them. Maybe not, actually. I feel like the Skylanders might be able to beat like one of the any Skylander you pick. Maybe not, actually, I'm gonna say no. And then he could beat Ian because he has this, he's actually a pretty strong character when I think about it. Yeah, I think he could beat Ian, like he has the aim abilities to be able to do it. He has like sniper, we'll give him like a sniper rifle, I guess, that's his weapon, or I don't know, just a long range, a mid-range weapon we'll give him. Mandrake, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say Mandrake. No, I don't think he'd beat Mandrake. So yeah. Job from Arrested Development. He does have. You did fight with Michael a lot in the show, so I'm gonna say that he does have like a bit of fighting experience. I don't think he's beating Anson. Like Anson's stronger than him, and I feel like he could maybe beat Jack Kelly. He gets like the roofie off of him. I don't think he's gonna be able to get roofie off with Lenny. So we'll give him roofies as his weapon, I guess. So. And does he beat Anson though? I think Anson could probably beat him, yeah. Oscar, he does have a weapon, and so I do think he does have like his hook as well as like army experience, which I don't really know if it would help him because I don't know if he actually ever fought at any point in the army. So I would give Oscar. I think Oscar could beat Job. The hook is a big advantage, and I do think he's kind of crazier. So I don't think he beats Lenny though. I'll say he beats Anson even because of the hook, but I think even the hook would be able to beat Lenny. So Garmadon is a good one. I would give Garmadon. I would say, let's see here. He beats the Skylanders, and I will say it's in his prime. He has all 4 golden weapons. He would beat Ian, like the nunchucks would give him the range. He beat Armando. He would beat Mandrake. He would beat Rumi. He would beat Gino. Could he beat John Wick? Yeah, we'll say, I think probably the golden weapons are bulletproof. He beat the Great Devourer, so he could definitely beat like characters like Kevin as well as the Red Bluster. I think he beats Honey as well. And yeah, he could beat the Alien Queen from Independence Day Resurgence. He could beat, could he beat the Iron Fist? I think so. He has the range. I don't know if they get into a close combat fight, probably the Iron Fist would be able to stop him. But even so, like he could possibly, I could see like blocking the attack somehow. I'm gonna say, okay, if it's a close range fight, I think the Iron Fist would win. Because I think just probably for the Iron Fist is just that strong. But yeah, I do think that the Iron Fist is a very offensive character though. So I don't know, like what defenses So I don't know, if it depends on who gets the offense first, I guess, but I'm gonna say, I don't know. Would he be able to beat Nalo? Nah, I'm just gonna say he doesn't beat the Iron Fist, I'd say so. And in Storm form, I think Nalo just would beat him, I'd say so. Yeah, the Pirate Captain from Pirates Band of Misfits. How much time? We have like 12 minutes. Okay, we actually should start wrapping this up. The Pirate Captain, I think he's got like some good pirate fighting skills. He'd beat probably most of these characters. I would say he beats, in close range, I think Saki would be able to beat him, I'd say so. I could see him he has a sword, we'll give him the sword, but even so, I feel like Saki would be able to stop him, even if he had the sword. I think that he'd beat the Were-Rabbit though, so. Joan from Clone High, I think at the end of like season 2, it wasn't season 2, it was season... No, it was the end of season 2, yeah, she does kind of go like, I don't know, she goes Predator mode and then starts killing everyone, not killing them, but like defeating them in the competition, so. I think she has decent skills, I think she could beat the F tiers, the D tiers, I think that she could probably, I don't know, she doesn't really have the time though to make traps in, I guess, this fight, so. She's like she's smart, I don't know how physically like capable she is really in a fight, so. I think Tony would beat her as well as like Dickie and stuff, I don't know, like she could probably beat like, I think Verbal would probably be smart enough to be able to stop her, so. Yeah, I think that's good, and I think that's good, yeah, we'll put it there. Reagan, she's smart, she also, we'll give her like we'll give her her robot hands, we'll say that is her weapon that she gets to use. She's pretty smart, I do think she would be able to get decently far in a fight, although she doesn't really have a lot of combat experience, probably she's just smarter if anything, so. Although the robot hands were strong enough to rip off like a lizard's hands, although I don't know, maybe lizards, like they don't have very strong limbs, so we'll say Reagan gets to strong, yeah, we'll do, can she beat Tony? We'll see, why is Ransom here? Ransom is supposed to be, how did Ransom get moved here? Ransom was here, I think. Reagan, I will say she probably ends up losing to Akeem, definitely. Yeah, Terry, as well as, yeah, I think she would lose to, I can see her beating Frank Trebin. I think that's possible, yep. Dina, honestly, she says she has like a lot of fighting abilities, but we haven't really seen much from her, to be honest, so. I don't think she could beat Lenny, to be honest. I think Lenny is just like that strong, so. I think she can beat Oscar though, yeah, definitely. Richie from The Bear, I think that he loses to Dina, although, yeah, I'm not giving him in the gun that he had, so. He loses to Dina, he loses to, I think he could beat Oscar, I would say. I think that's fair. So, yeah. Honestly, Steve, I kind of feel like maybe I should move him down. I think I'm going to move him down. I think that, I think that's good, honestly. I don't know. I think there, yeah, I don't know how smart he is, to be honest, though, so. No, fine, I'll leave him where he was, but I don't know, I feel like maybe he is not smart enough to go to beat Lenny, but we'll leave him there. This is Benny from The Queen's Gambit, and he's a good chess player, so he's probably like pretty he's decently smart, I'd say, and he probably like he has good tactics, and he'll be able to. He has also. We've been going for an hour and 37. I am starting to sound like a broken record player, so. He also has a knife, and we will give it to him because it was kind of iconic to his character, so I think he'd beat the F tiers, the D tiers. I think he would probably get to at least Dickie, I'd say. Yeah, I think that's good. I think, yeah, we'll go with that. Desmond Hart, and what weapon does he have? We'll give him the Dune sword, although it's not really iconic to his character, I'd say, but he is, we'll give him his power where it's like he can, although he does have to concentrate for that, so I don't think it would actually help in like a one-on-one fight, so. But he's pretty skilled, I'd say, so I would give him like, let's see here. I think he could definitely beat Starsky and Hutch. He could beat the Were-Rabbit, I think. Yeah, and the Fleet Bots. He could defeat Nathan Kane. I think he'd be able to get close enough and defeat Gru. Here, he'd defeat Kiri, I think, yeah. He would also probably defeat Eve, I'd say. And Grigon. Yeah, I think so. And then, Okay, in a close range, fine. I think he can beat Armando. I think he's like pretty skilled. Mandrake, maybe. I think that is good, probably. I think once he gets like James Bond, I don't think he's beating James Bond in a fight, in a close range fight, but and then you have yeah, I don't think he's beating Gino, I don't think he's beating Rumi, and I don't think he's beating Mandrake, so we're gonna leave it at that, I think. So okay. Right, I don't know if I feel good about that. Maybe I should have just done this group style, and then could have done like side style at the end, and then maybe this would have gone by way faster. So I think I should probably, because I think doing side style while you do it makes it end up taking longer. So I think next time I'm just gonna do group style, and then we'll do side style at the end. But then it like comes out to like I don't really know. I could have just done the A and S tier side style. I guess it would have been, yeah, this would, okay, it would have been way easier, so I should have done that. Okay, I have regrets. It's fine. It's all right. Yeah, let's continue. Milch, what did we say? We said, yeah, he would lose to Mandrake. I said, yeah, Mandrake's got his like powers and stuff, I think, yeah. Milchik, he physically is like decently strong. I think that he would probably beat Lenny. I think he's strong enough to beat Lenny. Not strong enough, but like smart enough, I think. Yeah, I think he's a decently intelligent character. He would beat probably Travis Bickle. I'd see him beating. I don't think he's beating Dicky though. Dicky is like, honestly, Benny could also, Benny has the knife, so I think Benny would beat him. Like, Bjorn is also supposed to be like a secret agent, so I think he would beat him. I could see him, now Pablo Escobar, he's like cartel, so he's got that tax, she's probably more efficient. I can see him beating me, and Travis got the gun. Could he beat Mickey 17? No. Could he beat, no, okay, Verbal would probably beat him as well. He could beat Joan, I think. Joan, yeah, I think he would lose to Joan, probably. No, he would beat Joan, that's what I meant to say. Okay, these are the Eyes of Wakanda characters. I guess I chose all three of them as the strongest. Noni would beat, let's see here. He's a pretty trained warrior. Would she beat Eve? I would say so, yeah. Would she beat Hawkeye? I don't think she would beat Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is, although maybe actually this is Noni in a prime, so yeah, probably. Would she beat Grigon? I don't think so. Yeah, probably she would lose to Grigon. I think in close range she would beat Mephisto. Memnon, I think that Memnon would probably, I think Memnon would maybe beat Noni. He has like the weaponry that Noni doesn't have, so I think, yeah. And I think honestly that weaponry he could use it to beat Grigon as well as I don't think, I guess Ian, yeah, sure. I don't know with Ian, it's like I always think, okay, he has like, he can fly and stuff, but then it's like it becomes a close range fight. But I don't know how it works with Ian really, but yeah, I think I said like, yeah, some of these characters, they have weaponry and he can use his thing to be able to, yeah, all these characters either have long range or they can, yeah, okay, let's just continue. Memnon, I would say, yeah, he beats Armando, I think. He beats Desmond, he beats Mandrake, and I think he would lose to Rumi, I think, probably, right? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I'm not sure. It is pretty strong, but like it's vibranium weapons versus, I don't know, demon hunting weapons, so. We'll say, yeah, fine, he gets all the way up to Majima. Yeah, the weaponry is pretty powerful, so I think he would probably, like, if we are giving him the weapons, he probably beats like a lot of these characters. I think Honey, though, probably, Honey would be able to beat him, I'd say. Basha, he doesn't have like weaponry really, so I think he would be about on par with Noni. Yeah, there's no weaponry he really has to be able to stop Grigon, so. This is his name, okay, you can look it up. Is it Big Daddy from Sing 1 and 2? This is Johnny's dad, and I would probably give him, how much more do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, we gotta hurry this up. I have like 3 minutes. I want to finish this before my roommate gets back. Big Daddy from Sing, he is a gorilla, so let's see here. I didn't think he would lose to Guts. Guts has like better skills, I think maybe he's stronger, but I think he has the weapons, so yeah. He would probably beat one of Morty or McGurk, I'd say, so yeah. Horton from Morton Year Zoo, he's decently strong, he's got like he's an elephant obviously, so he has like he's got physical strength, he's not really, yeah, he loses to, I think Morty McGurk would be able to, yeah, I would say it comes down to like a one-on-one fight. I think that he's losing to Big Daddy though, I think Big Daddy's stronger, I'd say, so, yep. Lula, Can make stuff levitate. Other than that, not really a fighter in any way. So I think Falcon could beat Falcon. Could beat maybe could beat Aoi. Could beat Andrea. Could beat Nigel. Who does he lose to? Maybe beat the minions. You can make them float. So like, we're gonna say you can't make Lenny float. Lenny is too heavy to make float. So honestly, Jack Kelly you can't. Yeah, Billy Mazik. But I don't know. Once you get to a human, like I feel like he's not strong enough to. I don't think did he make humans float? Let's see here. Did Lula make humans float in Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon? Let's see here. Yes, Lula has the power. No, but did he make humans float? Make objects? No, I'm not asking what the powers do. I'm asking did he use his powers? Use his powers to make humans float in. Okay, maybe this would get a better answer. Yeah, but not people. Okay, I don't think he can. I don't think he's strong enough to. It's a she apparently. She can't use it on humans really. So I feel like Andrea would be able to stop her. So yeah, we're gonna say she is not strong enough to like be able to lift humans. So anyway, Buck Wild. This is we're gonna say it's Prime Buck, I guess. So yeah, he is pretty skilled. He was able to fight off dinosaurs, I'd say, so at least D tier. And honestly, yeah, he could beat the were-rabbit. I'd say he could he beat Gut? That would be a good fight. I don't think so. I think Gut is a bit more powerful, but I can see him beating these other characters definitely. And Gut though, he's like got the physical powers and stuff. Gru also has like the freeze ray, which would probably stop Book, I'd say. So anyway, Chaos. I guess this would be Chaos in any form I decide. So I got any, like, I don't know, it's all the strongest form. So probably could beat it's Prime Chaos, we said, and so I guess the strongest one would be either Super Evil Chaos, like here, Archean Chaos, Super Evil Chaos, Trap Team Chaos, whichever one you choose. I think in all cases, those would be stronger than, at the very least, Honey. Yeah, definitely. Stronger than the Alien Queen, I would say. Maybe not as strong as Garmadon. I think Garmadon could maybe still beat him. Yeah, I think the Golden Weapons would be strong enough to be able to beat any Prime of Chaos. Anyway, Ace Ventura, he does have some good fighting abilities. We did see him like take down a guy from a police station, so I could see him taking down Verbal, yeah, these guys. Travis Bickle, yeah, Pablo Escobar even, yeah. Yep, Dicky, yes. Tony though, I feel like Tony, like, he wouldn't be able to take down, so yeah, we're gonna put him, like, he was able to, like, pretty efficiently take a guy down, so I feel like he could do it with everyone here, but Tony, like, he's big, he's too big, so even Johnny, I feel like, would maybe be too big. Even Dicky, I'll say. So yeah, everyone else though, like, he would be able to, like, he'd be able to, like, use his, I don't know, the martial arts he knows, apparently, from, like, as displayed in the first movie. Anyway, finally, Judd. He's said to be a boxer. He did kill a man in the ring, and that's why he became a priest, and so I do think that he is decently, he does have a pretty good punch, I'd say. And yeah, in this case, we're gonna say this is him in, like, his boxing prime, I guess, so not pacifist priest. So I think he would probably, I think he could beat Lenny. Yeah, definitely. He would know how to outmaneuver him and stuff. He could beat Ace, I'd say. Yeah. Could he beat Tony? Yeah, I think so. Probably. He is probably, like, he's a trained fighter. So could he beat? Wait here. Let's see here. Could he beat Ransom? Yes. Could he beat Frank Drebin? I think so. Yeah. Could he beat? Yeah. Could he beat? What's his name? Prince Akeem. Prince Akeem has, like, the better skills though, so I think Prince Akeem would probably end up coming out on top. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Prince Akeem. I think he's more skilled at fighting. So anyway, so the weakest character is apparently Falcon from Stuart Little 2, and then the strongest characters are number 3 goes to Invincible Mario, number 2 goes to Dracula from Hotel Transylvania, and then the strongest character on this tier list, the Mask. There's nothing you can really do against it. He could fight, like, the Mask could honestly, he could maybe honestly fight this entire tier list and end up coming out on top, because it's like, just, you completely obliterate him, annihilate him, fine, and then it's like, just, the air just like gets cut open into the shape of like a window or something, like a window gets painted out of nowhere, and then the mask like opens the window and it's like, hey, I'm back, or something like that. Like, he is actually like, Toon Force cannot be defeated, really. I feel like there's no yeah, honestly, like, you can't really do anything against Toon Force. So anyway, yeah, so this is my, this is actually by now, this is my record for the longest video I've recorded. This video, as well as like the movie ranking video, these videos are actually longer than some movies. So that is impressive that I managed to, yeah, it's not the most impressive really, but just, it's interesting to think about, we'll say so. But yeah, anyway, that is my tier list of, this is my tier list of my power ranking for all of the characters, the strongest characters from all the media that I reviewed in 2025. Yeah, if we do this next year, I think I'll do this next year, but we're definitely just going to do this side. I think in general, a lot of the tier lists that we do next year, we're going to do it simpler. We're not really going to do side style. We'll do side style for like the top tiers, but other than that, we're not really going to be doing a lot of side styles for like these big tier lists anymore, because it's just, it takes up too much time. So it's just mostly just going to be group styles, and then we'll do like side style for the top tiers, I guess. So, but anyway, that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, web series, anything you want me to review, leave it in the comments. I will maybe possibly check it out. But with that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.